Urgent Kansas City Chiefs fans. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here, we bring you daily videos with the latest Kansas City Chiefs updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Alright, Chiefs fans, sit tight because today we have a lot to talk about. The Kansas City Chiefs are gearing up for yet another intense NFL season, and as they prepare to defend their AFC Championship title for the third year in a row, there's an air of excitement, but also some questions. You see, since their Super Bowl 57 victory, the team has been under the spotlight more than ever, and rightfully so. Patrick Mahomes, the superstar quarterback, continues to dazzle fans and analysts alike with his incredible talent, leadership, and clutch performances. But as with any team aiming for greatness, there are always areas to improve, and for the Chiefs, one of those critical areas is their pass-catching depth. Now, Mahomes is truly an elite quarterback, there's no denying that. He's built different, a generational talent who can elevate even the most unproven receivers. But even Mahomes needs reliable targets, especially when the spotlight is on him in the postseason or when the game is on the line. Since the departure of Tyreek Hill, who was arguably one of the most explosive receivers in NFL history, the Chiefs have had to adapt and find new ways to keep their passing attack dangerous. Tyreek's speed, playmaking ability, and game-changing plays left a huge void, and while Mahomes has done everything he can to fill that gap, the team's depth at wide receiver remains a concern heading into this season. Let's be honest, Travis Kelce, the towering tight end, has been a rock for Kansas City. He's been Mahomes' favorite target for years, consistently delivering clutch catches and making key plays. But at this stage of his career, Kelce isn't the same young tight end he once was. He's aging, and while he still dominates when it matters most, it's obvious that the Chiefs need to start thinking long-term about their passing options. Kelce's role might need to be scaled back a bit, and that's why the management and coaching staff are probably looking at ways to inject new talent into the offense. This leads us to an important point: the Chiefs could benefit greatly from monitoring the receiver market closely. They need fresh options, players who can step up and contribute immediately, especially in a league where injuries and suspensions are part of the game's unpredictable nature. One promising player who might be on their radar is Rashee Rice, the rookie out of SMU. Rice has shown flashes of brilliance in training camp and preseason games, and many believe he could be a primary target for Mahomes in the near future. The potential is there, and if he can stay healthy, Rice could be a key piece in Kansas City's offensive puzzle. However, it's not all smooth sailing for Rice. The young receiver is coming off a serious injury, which could impact his readiness and consistency early in the season. Plus, there are off-the-field concerns that have surfaced, including possible suspensions. This makes the Chiefs' front office look for outside-the-box options, players who can fill the void and bring stability to the wide receiver core. And that's where things get interesting. Now, remember that the Jacksonville Jaguars recently released Gabe Davis after a less-than-stellar season with the Bills. For those of you who follow the NFL closely, you know Davis well. He's a proven deep threat, a guy with legit speed and hands, and someone who can stretch defenses vertically. And Chiefs fans certainly remember Davis from his time with Buffalo, where he often made big plays and showed he can be a reliable weapon down the field. So, why not consider a reclamation project? Kansas City is known for turning around careers and finding diamonds in the rough, and Davis could be a perfect fit. Adding Davis wouldn't require a huge investment or risk, but it could bring substantial benefits. He's a veteran who understands how to get open deep, which is exactly the style of receiver Mahomes loves to target. The current Chiefs roster has some promising young talent, like Xavier Worthy, who has shown flashes of being that explosive deep threat. But consistency has been an issue for Worthy, and in a league where every play counts, having a veteran like Davis to provide stability and experience could be a game-changer. Patrick Mahomes himself has made it clear that he wants more of these downfield targets. Remember, Mahomes is at his best when he can unleash his arm and hit receivers in stride for big gains. That's his bread and butter, and having a reliable deep threat can open up the entire offense. Davis, with his proven track record, can be that player. Plus, with Kansas City's offensive system that emphasizes creativity, motion, and mismatches, Davis could be integrated seamlessly, providing that extra dimension that defenses might struggle to cover. But it's not just about adding a veteran to the roster. It's about addressing the broader picture, the depth at wide receiver, the health of key players, and the team's ability to adapt to the unpredictable nature of the NFL season. The Chiefs have shown in recent years that they're not afraid to make bold moves, whether it's trading for key players or elevating rookies from the practice squad. Their front office is always looking for ways to improve and stay ahead of the competition, and signing a player like Gabe Davis could be one of those strategic moves that makes all the difference come playoff time. Now, if we look at the team's overall outlook for this season, there's a lot of optimism. After all, Kansas City remains a favorite to go deep once again. Their defense has been solid, led by stars like Chris Jones and a secondary that's developing nicely. Offensively, Mahomes is still the engine that drives everything, and Kelsey remains his safety net. But the question mark remains: who will step up alongside them? Who will be the next big playmaker to emerge and keep defenses honest? That's why the signing of a veteran receiver, especially one with Davis's experience and speed, makes so much sense. It's about adding depth, stability, and that extra threat that can turn a game around in a heartbeat. The Chiefs are always looking to maximize their roster, and in a league where injuries and suspensions are part of the game, having reliable options on the bench is crucial. Imagine a scenario where Davis steps in during critical moments, stretching the field and forcing defenses to respect the deep ball. That could open up more space for Mahomes and the rest of the offense to operate at their maximum potential. And let's not forget, the Chiefs have a rich history of making smart moves in the offseason. They're disciplined, strategic, and always thinking 2 steps ahead. Their coaching staff, led by Andy Reid, is one of the best in the league at developing talent and designing schemes that maximize their players' strengths. So, bringing in someone like Gabe Davis, who's had success with a top-tier quarterback in Josh Allen, could be the perfect addition. It's a low-risk, high-reward scenario that could pay dividends, especially in the postseason when every possession counts. Now, as we look ahead to the season, the expectations are sky-high. The Chiefs have set a standard of excellence, and fans are hungry for another Super Bowl run. But to do that, they need all hands on deck, especially at the receiver position. Mahomes' ability to improvise and make plays under pressure is legendary, but even he benefits from having reliable, explosive targets. The more options he has, the more difficult it becomes for opposing defenses to contain him. That's why the potential signing of Davis is such an intriguing storyline. And, of course, we need to keep an eye on the other developments around the team. Training camp updates, injury reports, and the emergence of new players will shape the narrative as the season approaches. The Chiefs have a knack for finding hidden gems and turning them into key contributors. Remember how Juju Smith-Schuster and Marquez Valdes-Scantling stepped up last year? They weren't household names before joining Kansas City, but their contributions were vital in the team's Super Bowl push. That's the kind of smart, strategic moves that the Chiefs excel at, and adding a veteran like Davis could be the next step in that ongoing process. Looking at the bigger picture, it's clear that the Chiefs aren't resting on their laurels. They're hungry to repeat, to cement their dynasty, and to keep Mahomes at the top of the league's elite quarterbacks. The NFL is a league of constant evolution, and every team is trying to find the edge. Kansas City's edge has always been their innovative offense, their resilient defense, and their ability to adapt quickly. That's why the potential addition of a player like Gabe Davis, or any other veteran they might target, is so strategic. It's about staying ahead of the curve and ensuring they have the depth and explosiveness to overcome whatever challenges come their way. And now, Kansas City Chiefs fans, I want to hear from you. What do you think about all these developments? Do you believe that adding a veteran receiver like Davis could be the missing piece to push the team over the top? Or do you have other players in mind that the Chiefs should target? Drop your thoughts, predictions, and hopes in the comments below. Your opinion means so much to us and to the community of Chiefs fans worldwide. Remember, this team is built on passion, resilience, and a relentless drive to be the best. And I'll be back soon with more updates, analysis, and insider news about your beloved Kansas City Chiefs. So stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's get ready for an exciting season ahead.